et bienvenue à Learn French by SUCHITA. Je m'appelle SUCHITA, votre enseignante de la langue française, and in this video I am going to teach you les adverbes deuxième partie, which means the adverbs second part. Before we begin with this video, I would like to introduce you to my website www.learnfrenchbysuchita.com, where you will find recorded courses for all your French language needs. We have courses for DELF A1, DELF A2, DELF B1, TEF TCF recorded course, French phonetics as well. We have special courses for our school students ranging from grade 5 to grade 8. We also have courses for university students who are enrolled in certificate course or diploma course in Delhi University. And finally, we also have courses for our school students who are aiming to appear for their DELF Prim or DELF Junior examinations. So hurry up and check it out. So without any further ado, let's get into the video. And in this video, as I already told you, I'm going to teach you the adverbs. And this is the second part of our series. Now, I've divided the series into three parts. In the first part of the series, I have taught you what exactly is an adverb and how is it different from the adjective. So, what is the difference between an adjective and an adverb? Then we looked at the first type of adverbs, that means the adverbs which we cannot modify. Les adverbes qu'on ne peut pas modifier. Now, this is the second part of our series. If you have not watched the first part of our series, I'm going to mention the link in the card above. You can watch that video and then come back here again. Now, in the second part of our series, I'm going to teach you how do you form the adverbs from the adjectives. How to make the adverbs from adjectives. Now, here I've written few examples in front of you in English in order to explain you that the same concept exists in English as well. And then we are going to look at the same examples in French. So here are certain adjectives and now I've changed it into the adverbs. Now the adjectives are, for example, slow, polite, true, soft, happy. Now these are all the adjectives. How do you form the adverbs through that? Now the adverbs, like for example slow, the adverb is slowly. Polite, that's an adjective, the adverb is politely. True, that's an adjective, the adverb is truly. Soft, the adverb is softly. Happy, which is an adjective, the adverb is happily. So slow, slowly, polite, politely, true, truly, soft, softly, happy, happily. Now all of them are adverbs. Now are you observing a pattern over here? In order to make the adverbs from the adjectives, we are adding ly. Okay? Slowly, politely, truly, softly, happily. Now I'll explain this to you in the form of the sentences. Let's say if I say he is polite. If I say he is polite, polite is telling me the quality of he, which is a pronoun. So that means it's an adjective. But if I say he speaks politely, there I cannot say he speaks polite. I will need an adverb. Why? Because there politely is telling me the meaning of speak. Now speak is a verb. So you say he speaks politely. He is polite, but he speaks politely. Similarly, the next example, let's say she is happy. Now happy is telling me the quality of she, which is a pronoun. So that's an adjective. Now if I say she lives, I cannot say she lives happy. I'll have to say she lives happily, because there happily is telling me the quality of lives, and lives is a verb. So therefore I will need an adverb over there. So happy, happily. She is happy, but she lives happily. So these are adjective and these are adverbs. So now let's look at how do you make the adverbs from the adjectives in French. So here you have four types of adverbs. In the second part, that means in today's video, I'm going to teach you the two types of adverbs, and in the third part, that means in the final part of the series, I'm going to teach you the other two types of the adverbs. So let's look at the first two types. The first type is les adjectifs qui se terminent par une voyelle. Les adjectifs qui se terminent par une voyelle. That means the adjectives
which end with a vowel. We are basically learning how do you form the adverbs from the adjectives, in which the first type is the adjectives which end with a vowel. Like for example, here if you see triste, triste is ending with a vowel, which is E, right? So if the adjective is ending with a vowel, in that case, what do? There is only one step. Étape 1, étape which means step. There is only one step over there, and that says that you simply have to add ment to the masculine form of the adjective. On ajoute ment à la forme masculine. So just now in English I taught you, you add ly, you add li to make adverbs from the adjectives. Let's say sad, sadly, happy, happily, soft, softly. So in French you will observe that we add ment, M-E-N-T. You add ment in order to make the adverbs from the adjectives. Okay. So now if your adjective, the first category is if the adjective ends with a vowel. In that case, it's very simple. What do you need to do? Whatever the adjective is, you're going to write it as it is and then add ment to it, and it will become an adverb. Let's say I've written just one example over here, which is triste. Triste, and then in order to make it adverb, what did I do? I wrote triste as it is and then I added ment to it. So that means the adjectives which end with a vowel, in that case you simply add ment to the masculine form. On ajoute ment à la forme masculine. Whatever the adjective is, you're going to write it as it is and then add ment to it. So triste, tristement, sad, sadly. Now here I have written some more examples wherein I am forming the adverbs from the adjectives. Okay. And all the examples, in all the examples if you see, adjectives are ending with the vowels. I, U, E, E. All of them are vowels. So what did I tell you? For the adjectives which end with a vowel, for them you just simply write the adjective as it is and you add ment to it. So let's say vrai, which means true, and the adverb is vraiment. Vraiment, which means truly. So vrai, vraiment. Now vrai is ending with a vowel, I. So you wrote it as it is and then you add ment to it. Vraiment. True, truly. Next example is poli. Poli, poliment, which is polite, politely. Now you see that this again ends with a vowel. So poli, I wrote it as it is and then I added ment to it. So poli, poliment. Next, absolu. Absolu, which means absolute. Now, in order to make it an adverb, I wrote absolu as it is and then I simply added ment to it. So absolute, absolutely. Absolu, absolument. Next, facile. Facile, which means easy. Now you see that ends with E, that's a vowel. So facile, I wrote as it is and then I added ment to it, which makes it facilement. So easy, easily. Facile, facilement. And finally we have libre, which ends with E again, that's a vowel. So libre, I wrote it as it is and then I added ment to it. So libre, librement. Free, freely. Libre, librement. Let's just revise it once again. And I tell you the rule once again. If your adjective ends with a vowel, then in that case you simply have to write your adjective as it is in the masculine form itself and then add ment to it. So vrai, vraiment. Poli, poliment. Absolu, absolument. Facile, facilement. Libre, librement. And the English meanings of all of them are written with the red marker over here. Now here you have one exception which I have written. The word is, the adjective is gay. Gay, which means happy, like we say in English, happy and gay. So gay. Now if you see, this adjective ends with I, which is a vowel. Now as per the rule, if your adjective ends with a vowel, in that case you write your adjective as it is and then you add ment to it, right? But if you see here, I've added E, alright? So gay, in this case if you write G-A-I-M-E-N-T, that's going to be wrong. You have to add E in between, that's why it's an exception. So gai, gaiement. Happy, happily, and that's an exception. Now let's look at the second types of adverbs, wherein we are learning how to form the adverbs from the adjectives. So the second type is les adjectifs qui se terminent par une consonne, which means the adjectives which end with a consonant. Les adjectifs qui se terminent par une consonne. Now if you look at here the adjective is ending with T, and that's a consonant. So what has to be done? How do you form the adverbs in the case where adjective is ending with a consonant? So there what has to be done? There are two steps to it. The first step is écris le féminin des adjectifs. Étape 1, étape which means step. So step 1 is écris le féminin des adjectifs. That means you need to write the feminine of the adjectives. So first, whatever the adjective is, if it is ending with a consonant, you need to write its feminine first. Make the feminine of that adjective, and then ajoute M-E-N-T. You need to add M-E-N-T to it in order to make it the adverb. So now let's look at it through an example which is written in front of you. If you see, the adjective is long. Long, which means slow. Now long ends with a consonant T. Now in order to make the adverb from this adjective, first we have to make its feminine. The first step is, if your adjective ends with a consonant, you need to make its feminine first. So we added E to make its feminine. So long, lent, and then add ment to it. So lent, lentement. Slow, slowly. Whereas in the first part where we did, if the adjective ends with a vowel, in that case you do not need to make the feminine of that adjective. You just add ment to the masculine form of the adjective only. Okay, but here what do we need to do? You need to make the feminine first. So lent, lent, and then add ment to it. So lent, lentement. If your adjective ends with a consonant, in that case you make the feminine of that adjective and then add ment to it in order to make the adverb from that adjective. Now let's look at some of the adjectives where all of these adjectives are ending with the consonants. Okay, none of them is ending with a vowel. So what was the rule that I told you? If your adjective ends with a consonant, in that case you need to make the feminine of that adjective first, and then you add ment in order to make the adverb, right? So now if you see which means happy, now you need to make the adverb of this. So it ends with the consonant X. Now in order to make its adverb, since is ending with a consonant, you will make its feminine first. So heureuse, you add se to make it feminine, and then you add ment to it. So heureux, which is adjective happy, and adverb is happily. So heureusement, heureux, heureusement. Next is régulier. Régulier, which means regular. Now it ends with a consonant R. In order to make it feminine, I have written régulière. That is its feminine. Régulière, régulier, régulière, and then add ment to it. So régulièrement, régulièrement. Next is doux. Doux, which means soft. Again, that ends with a consonant. So first you need to make its feminine. So doux, douce, douce, that is its feminine. Doucement, doucement, softly. Next is courageux, courageux. Again, it ends with the consonant. So first you need to make its feminine, which is courageuse. So courageux, courageuse. So courageusement. First, this is its feminine. So courageux, courageuse, and then add ment to it. So courageux, courageusement. Courageous, courageously. Okay. The next one is faux. Faux. Again, that ends with a consonant X. First, make its feminine. Fausse. Fausse. And then add ment to it. So it's faussement. False, falsely. Faux, faussement. Next is soudain. Soudain. Soudain, which means sudden. Again, that ends with a consonant N. So first make its feminine by adding E, soudain, and then add ment to it. So it becomes soudainement. Sudden, suddenly. Soudain, soudainement. I repeat it for you. Heureux, heureusement. Régulier, régulièrement. Doux, doucement. Courageux, courageusement. Faux, faussement. Soudain, soudainement. So the rule is, if your adjective ends with a consonant, in that case you need to make its feminine first and then add ment in order to make its adverb. So here I have written an exception in front of you, and the adjective is gentil. Gentil, that's an adjective. Now if you see, this adjective ends with L, which is a consonant. Now as per the rule, if the adjective ends with a consonant, in that case you need to make its feminine first and then add ment to it. So as per the rule, this should have been the adverb. But now this is not the adverb. Here you need to remove the L and then add ment to it. So gentil, gentiment. This is the adverb, which is the correct version. This is wrong. You do not need to make it feminine and then add ment to it. You simply need to remove L and then add ment to it. So gentil, gentiment. So here in front of you, I have written some of the practice questions. These are all the adjectives. Some of them are ending with a consonant like this, and some of them are ending with vowel. Now, as per the rules that I taught you in this video, you need to make the adverbs from these adjectives. And I'm going to mention the answers of all of these in the description box below. So first you do all of them and then just check the answers from the description box below. Still, if you have any problem, you can mention them in the comment section below. I would be happy to help you. And that's it for this video. In case you like this video, please do not forget to hit the like button, subscribe to our YouTube channel and press the bell icon for all the updates and reminders. And I'll see you soon with the third and the final part of this video. Till then, au revoir, à bientôt et bisous bisous.